Hello Geronimo and Courtney. I'm taking a video. This neighbor up over here, Ross, said that he had issues with the previous owner's fence that was here, and he was asked to remove it because the fence was on his property. He's also purporting that the back fence there is also on his property as well. But for the purposes here right now, I just want to kind of line out what he's saying. He's saying that this property of his in the front spot is 60 foot wide, and there's a property marker right here on this side of the road. It doesn't quite line up with where Google has it at, but of course that's never quite the same as when you actually are standing at the property. Google basically has it coming off the back side of the line of this little fence that he has here, coming out over here. But he had a surveyor come out and do this. He marked down here and over there. Said it's 60 foot wide. So measuring 60 foot, it comes out to a survey marker that has been painted and was covered by some landscaping, but there is a stake coming out of the ground right there where the line is, and so what that would not only, the several things that it would entail is, one, this flower bed is now a third of the way, just under half of the way on his property line, and so that would need to be moved. Of course, this can be stuff that's done at a later date, but in order to get this fence up and in line, we would have to take out part of this plant, either that or even move it, if you will. But I mean, we could talk with you on different scenarios for that. So measuring it from over there, and this is kind of just a rough estimate because we don't have a string line from his property line marker that's up there on the corner down to the one on the inside of his gate, probably another 40 to 50 foot over there on the left hand side. He couldn't find it, so we couldn't really even measure off of that to get the distance here in the middle on where it's supposed to be to measure 60 over this way. But roughly, looking back, it's about to the edge of the front of the bumper back there, and then we would have to roughly cut off a couple inches off of this concrete pad here, because when he measured it roughly from one of his posts on that side to this fence right here, he measured it where it was roughly about 9 to 10 inches still left for his property. So if I was to measure this from the outside of your board here to where it needs to be, we're only literally cutting maybe, which looks like it has been done before, but we're literally only need to cut a couple inches off on this side to possibly even a couple more inches on that side. But in actuality, we would have to come in a little bit farther just so we could set the 4x4 posts in here to hold up the fence. So that's the first one. The second one is that you have irrigation that's coming up and feeding the whole lawn, and I'm assuming that also the flower bed here, or the landscape bed here. I do know that it comes up here and it cuts over about 6 inches to the left side of the sidewalk up there. And so I do see that it also cuts from here, it kind of tapers in, and you can see a little bit of it right here as well, where it just kind of tapers in into the backyard somewhere. And I'm not exactly sure where the water source is that it's hooked into back here, or if it's actually, yeah, I'm just not exactly sure where the water source is coming from. If it's coming from the front and feeding the back, or if it's coming from the back and feeding the front. Because I don't actually see any other water source up front. Sorry, I'll make this a little bit quicker, guys. Yeah, I'm not seeing a manifold, so I'm going to assume that possibly the manifold's in the back. The last issue that we have I apologize. So I mentioned the flower bed's got to come over a little bit in order to put up the fence posts, and that this has to be cut back, and that we'd need to try to find out where this water source goes. For now, I mean, it's there, but at any time the neighbor could ask you to remove that, because he did mention it. He also did mention talking to you about what it looks like to cut a portion of this cement pathway off. Thank you.